summer, and I am back with my Stitch Maynia 2018 wrap-up video. It is Friday, June 1st, so Stitch Maynia is done. It's done. I planned to do 18 new starts, and I did 17. Yesterday, I just wasn't feeling it. I had one sort of planned, but I needed to cut I had the fabric. Okay, so it was the owl pattern that I showed in my last video, and I had a big piece of fabric for it, but it needed to be cut down. I needed to measure and make sure it was actually all going to fit. And when I woke up yesterday, I just wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it. So I got 17 of 18 started, which is still a lot. But I'm happy with that. The owls, I have them all put together. All I have to do is actually measure the fabric one day and make sure it all fits. So maybe by the end of the year I'll start it. If not, maybe next year. Who knows? But yeah, so I got 17 started, 3 finished, which automatically is a plus for me. And I managed to do my 1,200 stitches for Full Coverage Fanatics, and keep up with that, which was another goal for the month, which was actually a lot harder than I expected it to be. So, all 3 of my kids are home. The baby's right here. He's in the pack and play. My other 2 are downstairs watching, who knows what, Disney Channel, I think. So they may make an appearance where we'll just play by ear and see what happens. They just had lunch, and we've been outside playing in the, 95-degree heat we went out at 9:15 and we came in at 11:30 and went and got lunch. So they spent 2 hours outside in the heat and the sun playing. They're exhausted. So I'm hoping they're quiet. So I'm hoping maybe they'll sit there and fall asleep and take an hour or 2 long nap. The baby just woke up from his nap, so he's not going to be taking one anytime soon. He's just over there rolling around in the pack and play, being content for the time being. We'll see how long that lasts. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have the stuff I have to show you today is everything since the last video. So it's my last 1, 2, 3, 4 starts, plus my full coverage piece that I worked on, and then kind of my loose plans for the first part of June. We're gonna be out of town for a couple weeks in June, so I'm taking a couple pieces with me, travel pieces with me, to see if I can work on. I would really like to keep up my momentum and at least work on them for a couple minutes a day. I'm not taking any big pieces. I'm taking some of my smaller ones. But we're going to be gone for 1, 2, 3 weeks. So I probably won't have another video out until probably the 22nd, June 22nd. So 3 weeks from today is when I'll probably have another video out. So I will have, so yeah, I'm just taking a couple of my small projects with me to work on while we're out of town. We're going to visit family, and then going to Disney. Well, not Disney, because it's June in Florida. We're not going to do Disney. We're going to go to a couple of the water parks and just kind of relax. Just have a good time. Our family all lives in Florida, so they may come with us to a water park once or twice. Well, we'll see. Hit the beach, all the Florida touristy stuff that we don't get to do since we live in Texas now. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So what I worked on the 23rd was the last Whimsy Thought piece, and I don't have the photo of this because my phone is over there. Oh, I mean, I have a photo, but I don't have a color photo. So, but you've seen, I've showed this before. This is the one I worked on, except it's not black and white. I just printed it on a black and white printer. So that was the last one I had to start. And I didn't get very far on it that night. I think I worked on, I don't really know why, but I only managed to get the O, well, snowman face, but the O done on him that day, or her. I think it's a him. So this one probably won't take me but an hour to knock out. This one may go to Florida. This one I may just try and knock out tomorrow, actually, before we leave, so I can be done. Because I kind of don't want to take it. It's not going to take me very long to finish it, and I don't want to have to worry about keeping track of another project. So maybe I'll work on that tomorrow, or maybe later this afternoon. Anyway, my next one was the Busilla Kit Safari Birth Record. And this one I'm going to do for the baby, my third child, who is 9 months old and still doesn't have a birth sampler. My older two had one within a couple months of being born. My first, it was all done. I just had to put his information in when he was born. And my second, he was born in January, and I think I had it done by like March or April. But as the third child in 3.5 years, this was not high on my priority list when I was pregnant with him. He was high risk, so I couldn't do a whole lot. I had 2 toddlers, and we moved. I was like super pregnant over the summertime, so I counted it as a win. If I got off the couch at all that day, I would basically sit on the couch and toss snacks at my kids and hope they survived until their father got home. So things are finally settling down, and I started on this. I didn't get very far. I thought this would be a really quick stitch when I talked about it last week, but it was not, because this is on 14 count Aida. I think it's 14 count. I'm sure it's 14 count. Yeah, 14 count white Aida. And each one of these little X's has 16 fractional stitches, 16 half stitches in each X. So, and this is on Aida, so it's not easy. Sorry, I'm just trying to fold it up so I can hold it up easier. They're not easy fractional stitches because you have to pierce the middle of the Aida. And had I realized that before I got started, I'm glad I didn't realize it, because I think the pattern is super cute, but had I realized that before I got started, I would have never picked this one. So that's what it looks like so far. I kind of wanted to get the borders done, especially once I realized they were all so many fractionals. I decided to get the borders done, so I'm up here. I started this half for the X's, and then over here I did part of the top half of these X's to try and get all these X's done. And then after that, there's still some fractionals after those two, like after all the X's, but but then it's tolerable. So that's that one. The Safari Birth Record. I know it's still in the paper. I just don't feel like taking it out. Here's the baby. He doesn't make many appearances. I try and do it when he's napping. Here's the baby. He's still got lunch all over him. Ah, yeah. I know. What do you see? Oh. Who is that? Yeah. Okay. Next, my next 2 starts were from the Vivico kit. I did these 2. I started this one on the 22nd. So this one you guys saw in my last video. So I started these 2 on the 28th and 29th. Let's see. This is this one down here. These stitch up so fast. I'm really enjoying doing them. There's only, I think, 8 colors total for all 3 of them. So these stitch up pretty fast, and they're itty bitty. And this is on 14 count 14 count Ada. I think it's just like a it just says 14 count. It's an Ada for sure. Like a fiddler's Ada, maybe. It's kind of what it feels like or looks like. So that's that one. And then the other one, the last one, is this one with the plaid heart. And this I'm going to take to Florida with me. This is the first one that I started last week, the big one in the middle. I'm going to take these with me on vacation because they're so tiny and I can fit everything in here. I can just like slide the scissors right in the front too. I'm going to take this with me and try and maybe get all 3 finished because they really, I mean, I think I worked on each of these for about an hour. Maybe I worked on this last one a little bit longer. No. I worked on this one a little bit longer because I worked on it when we were outside playing. When my kids were outside, my older 2 were outside playing in the water. I worked on this one on Tuesday. So maybe I worked on that one for like 2 hours, an hour and a half. But they stitch up really, really quick. And see, this is all the colors. I like this huge card they gave me though because I will definitely be using this again. It's got 46 slots and I used 9, or it used 9. So that I'm definitely using again because there's no numbers on it or anything. It's just, or there's no like floss numbers. It's just numbered 1 through 46 or whatever I just said. So anyway, so that one is going with me to Florida because like here's my whole kit. Yay! So anyway, those are all my new starts. That's all 17. Well, that's the last. What did I say? 4. And I did the other ones in my last video. So the only other whip that I worked on since the last time I saw you guys was my full coverage piece, the Amish Spring piece from Stitcher's World, March 2001. And the artwork is by Diane Phelan, I think. Yeah, Diane Phelan. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. So I started up in this top left corner because that's where I like to start my full coverage pieces. And when I first started it, like on May 1st when I started this, I didn't grid it. Cause I'm like, oh, I don't need to grid it, it's fine. And I was wrong. Well, so I gridded like the outside to make sure it fit on my fabric. And then I didn't grid, like I didn't do the actual grid mark, like the full grid because I didn't think I needed to. Well, then when I started, I realized that there were fractionals, which isn't a big deal, but there were a lot of fractionals up in that top left corner. So I started this with my normal, like diagonal stitching, where I started up here and I did this block and then I moved and I was gonna do, where am I? Do it this way and then this one, you know, and go down like I do on my full coverage pieces. Well, with all the fractionals, I was getting lost. I was getting really, really lost. So I went in and I gridded it all earlier this month, thinking that that would help. It did not. It was still hard to follow and confusing, and my kids are coming upstairs, so it's going to be really loud for a second, I think. It was confusing, so I gave up on that. And I just started going more of a cross-country. What, baby? I just started kind of doing cross-country. I decided, well, one, this was my piece that I was doing for Full Coverage Fanatics, so I needed to have 1,200 stitches done by the end of the month. And when I picked this up on the 25th, on Friday, I think I had like 300 stitches in it. I had like nothing. No, get out of my closet. Shut the door. Stop. So, and that was all like in this little hodgepodge of tree branch and tree limbs and confetti hell of fractional stitches. This was miserable. And it's still not even done because I just had to walk. I had to stop. I looked at the pattern and I tried to figure out how I could just cut like these 2 entire rows out. But because like if I cut those 2 rows out, it would look funny. So I didn't. But like that's how miserable these 2 rows were. So I just started working across. And I started with the clouds in the sky, and I managed to get 1,200 stitches done, and then I stopped counting. So there's probably 1,400 stitches in here, because I stopped counting yesterday when I got done. He thinks it's a Snapchat filter. So, so that's that. This is going away now because this was not fun. I did not enjoy stitching on this at all. So, I'm really, no, please put it down. So, I've gotten some of these clouds done. I'm about to here on it, over this way, sorry. I got to, like, the second silo and this way done of the cloud, or, well, that's where I am on the clouds. I'm still not totally done with them. But that's where I'm at. Please don't do that. That's too loud, baby. Yeah, so this is going to get put up for a little while. I think I'll probably work on this, honestly, when I get back from vacation for my, for June's full coverage fanatics. Because I still need 1,200 stitches, obviously, but, the rest of the sky and then most of this grass on this side are big blocks of color, so I think I could probably get 1,200 done of just the big blocks of color, and then put this away for a day when I have some brain power, I guess. Because once I get down to the quilts and stuff, those are a little more labor intensive. Still not many fractionals in them. It's really just in the trees that there's fractionals. I mean, I guess there's some, but not like those trees. And then down at the bottom, that's a lot of confetti, but there's no fractionals, so that'll be nice, even once I get down there. But this is going away for at least a couple weeks. This one was, it hurt my brain, but I powered through, so I felt good about that. So my tentative plans today, on the first of the month, please stop. My New Year, New Start was the back at the ranch. Stop, Holston. What? Stop talking, please. Was back at the ranch. It's an artiste kit. So I started this January 1st, and I really only work on it on the first day of every month. I didn't work on it in May because Mania. But so I don't have a whole lot of time and effort put into this yet. But this is where I'm at so far, and this will come back out today. Every time I pull it out, I have to think about what direction. So this is where I'm at. The last time I was working on this, I was concerned that I would not have enough borders, and I mean I have maybe 1.5 inches, so not much. I've gone through and I zigzag stitched the ends because they was fraying really, really bad. That's what all that is. They can't come anymore. But anyway, so I have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Not a whole lot, but I have enough. It'll be fine. Stop. No more. You can get out and get it once, but after that, no more. Sorry. So, so there's the start of my cow down here, which is my little cow needle minder, and this is from Julie at Nifty Needle Nannies. I love this little cow. I really do like working on this piece. I just haven't, it hasn't really been like a focus, but I do like it. It's a lot of fun to work on. It's not, so I'm over here. This was the edge that I was concerned about, but I've gotten all this grass done, and then I have part of my black cow here. And this is almost a piece that I could do for full coverage fanatics because, alright, this is a piece I was going to do. It's mine now. This is a piece I was going to do until I really looked at it and realized that it's not actually full coverage. It's just very dense. Up here, all of this is full coverage and even up into the clouds. But down here between the cow's legs, like that's not. That's fabric. That's not stitching. Stop. This is the last time. You're too loud. He's like a dog. So that's that. So this will get today, some attention today. Maybe tomorrow if I finish my, oh, I don't want to put that on my computer. If I finish my, that Whimsy Thoughts, the love piece, then I'll probably pull this back out because everything else will be getting packed up at that point. So maybe this will come back out tomorrow, but for sure today, tonight, I'll put some love into this one. And then you read it. Read it to Everett. He likes that book. So this will get some love today. Like I said, maybe tomorrow. We'll just kind of see how it goes. And then the last piece I'm going to show you, this is another piece that's going to go to Florida with me because it's easy. It's really small and containable. Just a couple colors, and I can actually put everything in like one bag for this one. And that is my Home Sweet Home, or State Love piece, I guess is what it's actually called. This one I started on May 21st, and I worked on it for 2 days, and I've gotten this much done. I don't think this one's going to take too much longer. It's just the fabric is terrible. It's a 14 count Aida, but it's like, it's almost, sorry, my kid's about to fall out. There he goes. It's really stiff. Like there's a lot of starch still in it, and like the needle doesn't cleanly go through the holes. I don't know if that's the needle or the fabric, like to be honest, because this is just the needle that came with the kit. But it doesn't look like it's like there's anything like noticeably wrong with the needle. So I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if it's the needle or the fabric, but for such a small piece, I'm just gonna power through and be done with it. So that one's going with me to Florida also. So I figure that gives me a little bit of variety for when we're there, but they're also small enough that they don't require a whole lot of brain power. I also have in my car is my Sunny Sunflower piece. That's just my travel piece that's always in my car. So if push comes to shove and I happen to finish all these, which won't happen with how busy we're going to be. But if it does happen, or if I just want something that has a little bit more of a challenge, I have that too. And then I think that's everything. It's almost nap time for the baby, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. But I think that's everything. So those are the first 3 weeks of June. That's what I'm taking. These 3 kits, or my 1 kit that has these 3 patterns in it. And then my Home Sweet Home piece are going to be traveling to Florida with me. I also figured those are all small enough, like if I take them to the beach or whatever, if we go to the beach, those are small enough I can just toss in a bag and not have to worry about it too much. My pterodactyl baby. Apparently that's my cue. It's time to go. So I will be back hopefully on the 22nd, somewhere in there. And show you guys my progress. The baby and I are coming home earlier that week. I don't know exactly what day yet. I don't think my husband's bought the tickets for us yet. The older 2 are staying with their grandparents for a couple weeks, so it'll just be the baby and I. which is going to be odd. You're going to fall.
Okay.
So we're going to hang out for a couple weeks without big brothers and stop. I'll actually have some time to stitch because I only have to worry about his nap time at that point, not trying to time it with everybody else's. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you everybody for your comments on the last video regarding the Santa Fe shooting. It's nice that school is out and we don't have to worry about that right now. But come August, it's still a valid concern, and hopefully in the next couple months we can enact some real change for school safety. But also thank you for all the comments outside of that and the subscribes. I really appreciate it. I know I'm terrible at replying back to comments, but I do read them all and they all mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it. So until next time, we will see you guys later. Happy stitching. Bye.